on nutrition. I am with Jessica Setnick, a registered dietitian, and very proud to call my friend, and author of the Pocket Guide to Eating Disorders and also Eating Disorder Boot Camp. We're talking a lot about eating disorders, and so a mom identifies, a dad, somebody identifies there's a problem. Now, what's the solution? What steps do they need to take?
Okay, so the number one thing is it's never too soon to intervene.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it can ever be too late, but there are definitely missed opportunities. So as soon as a family member recognizes something is amiss with a child's eating, that would be the perfect time to get that child a physical exam. That's the first thing. A lot of doctors are not really very aware of eating disorders, so I wouldn't take it at face value if your doctor says there's nothing wrong with your child. You've observed eating problems, so there's something wrong.
Right.
But it's good to find out from the doctor that the child's medical health is stable at that point. And so that's what you're going to the pediatrician for, is to find out if the child is medically well. The second step would be, once your doctor has determined that your child is stable enough to be seen on an outpatient basis, is to get a treatment team together. Now, your doctor may have professionals that he or she recommends, or you may have to put this all together on your own. I have, in the past, helped people as an advocate, and I am available to do that if someone needs help, to help them find the resources in their area, because it can be hard to find specialists in eating disorders. But the goal is to have really a three-pronged approach, to have a physician that's monitoring a child's physical health, or a nurse practitioner, to have a counselor, some kind of mental health counselor, whether it's a school counselor. A lot of times school counselors don't really have time to meet with someone on an ongoing basis. So some kind of mental health professional in the community that has experience with eating disorders in kids, and then a dietitian who also has experience with eating disorders in kids. So it's that three-pronged approach. And then at any point, one or more of those professionals may recommend adding in another professional, for example, a psychiatrist who can do an evaluation for depression or anxiety or other issues, group therapy, a support group, family therapy. But the sort of the base of all treatment is therapy, dietitian, and medical supervision. The goal would be then to help the child get to appropriate eating behaviors, get to the bottom of the eating behaviors, and help them get back into sort of an appropriate eating pattern, stay in school, that kind of thing.
And I want to identify, too, that it's really important that focusing on a specialist.
It is, and it's challenging to find a specialist. There are a couple of treatment finders. One is at eddietitians.com. There's a treatment finder for dietitians.
eddietitians.com.
Right. And then edreferral.com is another treatment finder. A lot of times if you call a residential or inpatient treatment center in your area, or even somewhere you find on the internet, like a 1-800 number, even if the treatment center is not in your area, they may know who in your area. They sort of keep tabs on who the professionals are. And then as far as needing a treatment center, you know, if either your doctor says that your child is not stable to be seen as an outpatient, or after a couple of weeks of outpatient treatment, things don't seem to be stabilizing or they're getting worse, then that's when you would need to start looking into the higher levels of care, which honestly isn't a bad idea from the very beginning, so that when things start to, hopefully they don't, but if they go downhill, then you're ready and you know which treatment centers, for example, take your insurance, which treatment centers are within driving distance versus flying distance, that kind of thing. Because unfortunately, eating disorders either get better or they get worse. They are progressive illnesses. They rarely stay at the same place.
So, and that minimally, that three-pronged approach, the healthcare professional, eating disorder dietitian, and the physician.
Right. And there's usually more than that. I mean, family counseling is really important. There's a whole approach to eating disorder treatment called the Maudsley approach, which focuses on family therapy and family involvement. I think that any time family feels excluded from treatment, that's not a good thing. That's not appropriate, and families should always feel like they have a voice in their child's treatment. and family therapy and even individual therapy for the parents, because it's a very stressful situation to have a child with a chronic illness. There are family and friend support groups. There are support groups for individuals with eating disorders. If there's been a problem with induced vomiting, a child might need to see a dentist. If there's been a problem with laxative abuse, a child might need to see a gastroenterologist.
Right.
So the circle of people who may be called upon to help may become larger and larger. But right at the very, very most basic, it's those three pieces.
A lot of information. Anything else that you want to leave? Any other things that you want to tell people?
Well, I really just want to thank you for bringing attention to this topic, because I think there is a lot about eating disorders that people don't know where to go and don't know who to ask. So I would just suggest that if anyone has further questions, you're welcome to visit my website. It's understandingnutrition.com, and I have a page of resources that can then link you out to different information. Okay,
great. Again, Jessica Setnick, her website is understandingnutrition.com. And thanks for watching Neily on Nutrition, and we'll see you in the next video.